Well, hello. This is going to be a basics of Neon Abyss. It's roguelite. Basically you could think of it like a platform-based Binding of Isaac. It's fun, it's interesting, has similar concepts and your general roguelike elements. So all your runs are random. You have different characters. You have random items. The interesting thing about this game, however, is how your guns, quote unquote, upgrade. As you beat bosses and get certain items, your guns automatically get more damage, get more fire rate, splitting bullets, homing bullets, so on and so forth. So it's you have your currencies, your monies, your destructible items. The layouts of the rooms are pretty common throughout the runs. They don't seem to... I haven't seen too many unique rooms, to be honest with you. The spawns of enemies are always essentially in the same location, so that's something very important. Top left, you have your health and hearts. You have your shields and the blue shield. And you'll notice something below that look kind of like purple crystals. That's exactly what they are. They're purple crystals. Those are for certain guns have active abilities. That's what they're used for. They also are used for the purple chest that's like in the middle of this room, which I'll go ahead and give that a crack just to show you what that's like. For instance, you'll be paying 2 crystals to this. Got some crystals, got an egg. The egg will randomly, basically, activate and hatch. Now, sometimes it gives you a familiar. That'll help you out. Well, usually help you out. There's a couple familiars that are a little more trouble than they are worth. There are some that shoot bullets, some that throw bombs, and those familiars also evolve as they survive, which is interesting, fun, different. This, by the way, I'm going to go ahead and hit that before I lose it, is kind of like a crystal vault sort of thing that you drop a crystal into. Now, what does... Oh, that was nice. Go ahead and hack that. Oh, hell. I hit it accidentally. My bad. You'll notice it turned purple now. So, instead of taking the crystal, it will actually take health. Which it just did. Protective shell. Oh, cool. The problem here is... If you look at the bottom right, there's a little red meter. That red meter, and I'll actually show you exactly where it is. It's this little guy right here. That red meter gives you basically one of two things. You can either get a quote-unquote sort of like angel deal, or in this case it's a gift from Athena. If you open up, and that's for getting wisdom. If you complete rooms without getting hit, if you use crystal chests, if you use the crystal vault and sort of things, stuff like that, you'll get wisdom. If you get hit, you lose wisdom. If you... I don't have enough money for that. If you accidentally shoot a crystal chest or a crystal vault, it'll turn into that red one. And if you activate them, it'll give you violence. Violence is the red one. What does violence do? Well, it's basically like a devil deal in Isaac. you can sacrifice health, like actual heart containers, to get an item. Could be good, could be bad, kind of depends on you. It kind of depends on your luck, I should say. Don't have any grenades. Bottom left hand corner is your resources, so grenades, keys, and money. Do with that as you will, obviously. Money is okay to come by for the most part. Health is more or less common that I've noticed. Although I'm playing on normal, I'm not playing on hard or anything. This is a challenge room. It will be a combat room or arena room, however you want to put it. It will always have combat, about 3 or 4 rounds of combat. Increasing difficulty, obviously. You can think of it as like the kind of like challenge rooms that are in Isaac as well. Oh. Now, also, if you take damage in a room, you also gain violence. Violence is not necessarily a good or bad thing. It just can be more useful or less useful. And so notice how it says upgrade your weapon. Here, I'll look at it real quick. Upgrade your weapon, increase your jump height and movement speed slightly. So now I'll jump a little higher. Also get more damage. You'll also notice that in this room, my egg failed to hatch. That's okay. Luckily I got another egg. Ooh, another egg. Some of the eggs, and also your eggs, whenever they hatch, they will be random familiars that may or may not be useful. Again, there is one that likes to take your money that's laying on the ground. Real pain in the neck. This is the Ares room. So here I can sacrifice a heart, which I'm going to do. I'm actually, by the way, I am very new at this game, so I don't know all the items. The reason I like doing the basics is I'm trying to teach others about in the same time that I'm learning. More coins you have, more damage you do, which is pretty sweet. Makes for an interesting mechanic there. So we're gonna go fight one of the first gods or bosses. Again, also random. It is God George, the god of pills. Ooh, he's getting wrecked. Yep, there he goes. Take my money, take my beer. It's not a milkshake. A beer that is certainly not a milkshake. So I got another art container, which is actually nice. I'm going to go ahead and actually go back and grab some more health really quick, just to make sure I'm stocked up. Oh. This, by the way, eventually, as you do your upgrade paths each round and you use your gems at the bar, you can actually get upgrades to your runs, essentially, and unlock items. One of those unlocks is actually this little guy right here. You see that golden vein right there? That is a secret room. Now, I can't do anything with that right now. I don't have any grenades, which is fine. That chest had nothing. That was a garbo. I got no grenades, so we'll go ahead and just bounce out of this level. But anyway, I like to teach as I'm learning, because I've already done I've actually done a couple of runs, so I kind of got the basics down. Jumping, moving, etc., etc. You will get hurt by the laser. This is also a bit of an interesting room. Wow, okay. Haven't seen this one yet. This actually is a unique room. So I need at least 2 keys and at least 1 bomb just to get into some of that. That's fine. But I like doing it this way because, to me, it's been kind of interesting to have two different people or multiple people learning at the same time. Ooh, key. The reason for that is you tend to learn more by teaching yourself and teaching someone who is also new. That doesn't seem like it makes sense yet, but it will the more you do it, honestly. So at this point, that's the reason why I kind of like the basic, what I'm doing here with my little basics series, just teaching as I learn. By the way, these are jump pads. Self-explanatory. By the way, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, you might want to remap your controls. These are my controls for my gamepad, right? So for my controller. Now, keyboard, mouse is up to you. I'm not a keyboard, mouse sort of person. Been a console player my whole life. Give me a break. But you'll notice I have A mapped. Ooh. I have my jump mapped to A. Well, and my use bomb on the LT, left trigger. Well, that's not how it used to be. When you first start the game, your use bomb is actually on X. Your jump is on left trigger, and A is like confirm, I think. That's why you'll notice I'll use actually the mouse to do certain things. The reason for that is because your confirmation button, basically, there isn't one. It's really annoying. It is what it is. You make the best of it. I still prefer using a gamepad because that's just kind of the way I've always played. And it's more intuitive in this because it's a twin stick. Oh, a new gun. So every once in a while you will get different guns. The only thing I will say is that I think this one is the one that... No, okay. It just launched the ice grenade. Sweet. Some weapons, if you charge them for too long, will actually explode in your hand. So that can be kind of annoying. Speaking of frost bombs, we're going to go back in here real quick and see if we can't do something in here. Ah, so there is more doors. Or are more doors. Wow, I cannot talk. I apologize. Yep. Gimme everything. But these are considered grenades, so you can just pop these and go about your business. Nice, nice. The towel. Don't panic, you'll only lose half a heart when you get hurt. Sweet. Very cool. Easy peasy. Wish I had another key. Hopefully I'll get some more keys and we'll come back in there and gather some loot. Come here, you. Ah, see, not how that just, like, I think it's actually the grenades that are hurting you. Which also makes sense. Yep, there it is. Iron windmill. So notice how you got a, I got a familiar out of that. There we go. Not bad. I'll take it. Crystals. I think I had... Yeah, have a shop here. I'll show you what the shop looks like real quick. Shop is pretty self-explanatory once again. Yes, there are guitars that you can get every once in a while. There's my key I could use. Right, and at some point you can unlock a vending machine that'll sit over here sometimes. There are other various rooms that you can unlock as you play the game. the thing about it is, once again, I'm not going to go into all that. I essentially just started. The reason, again, I like doing it this way is just because I can kind of teach myself as I'm teaching you. And also, we're talking about the basics. We're not talking about anything extravagant, really. I'm not going into anything that's beyond when you first really start playing the game. Mostly because you wouldn't have any of that anyway when you first start playing. Pop. There we go. Okay, infinite key. Starts at the end of the current level. Sweet. So you can. This is actually perfect. This is exactly what I was needing. So I'm gonna go back to this room really quick and open up everything. And I mean everything. And I mean everything. Unlock you. Nothing special. Unlock you. Don't need that. Unlock you. Grab all the money. And then we're going to go up there and grab those 2 chests as well. This was perfect. See, that's the kind of luck you get sometimes. And there are some good synergies with items as well. There are some times where you'll get like giant balls of death that split into, 15 different shards that just home in on enemies as they explode. It can get insane. That's why I do like the synergies in this. And it is actually easier than you'd think, at least, I should say, to actually beat this with the first gun in the game, like the gun that you get at the beginning of the game. Because the gun you get at the game doesn't really determine your damage output, I guess. It can always upgrade, it can always get better. I'm going to take this electric guitar real quick. I haven't seen this. Rock and roll. Ah, I see. So you're firing music notes and they can spray everywhere. That's actually probably safer than the other weapon I have. I haven't used it before either, so I'm going to give it a whirl. It's probably kind of hot garbage, but hey, you live and you learn. And besides, I wonder if these carry over from room to room, because if they do, no, they don't. But again, by the way, when you walk into a room, enemies don't spawn immediately. They actually... Wow, this does actually crazy damage. But when you first walk into a room, if you just stand there, nothing actually spawns. So you don't know, and you don't always know if it's an enemy room or not. But the best thing is to do is like see the layout roughly, and then walk into the room and go, okay, there's whatever here. See, like this is a combat room, as you can see. And now we're getting that Athena room that I mentioned earlier. And I'm going to go ahead and unlock this really quick. And this is what you would call a basic item room. My weapon's interesting, but I'm going to trade it out for something else again. Different one, haven't seen it. Good night. Sleep tight. You have a chance to get Guardian Sprites each time you kill an enemy. So this is one of those weird ones. Has no range whatsoever, but hey, is what it is. And we're actually going to go ahead and hit that. Actually, you know what? I like the guitar. By the way, items do have permanence. They will stay in room to room. Kind of like Binding of Isaac as well. I always make references to Binding of Isaac simply because it's the roguelike I'm mostly comfortable with and used to. So, you know, is what it is. Compass or this. I'm gonna take the magic wand, just so that I can possibly get more crystals constantly. Crystals always have a job to do, so it's not a bad idea to be able to have a renewable source of them, even though it's when you take damage. God of Screens, he can be kind of like, okay, no, he is just annoying. You have to kind of remember where he made shots. Here's the problem, right here. He is going to kill me, yep. That's why I don't like him. He can be really annoying. But that's the general idea of the game. Your first area when you come in is whenever you spawn or respawn is the Neon Abyss, the bar. You have your difficulty area, the elevator, which apparently takes a long time to unlock, which I haven't looked up at all. Your upgrade screen, this will, if you have your gamepad set up the way it is, in general, you'll have to use a mouse, which you can freely just go over. But I can't unlock any of this, so that's kind of whatever. You might also need to restart your game and just use the mouse at that point, keyboard mouse for a second. That happens too, it is what it is. You can also dance. Don't ask why, I don't know. There are some minigame rooms, such as the piano room, the dance floor, and so on, where you can also gain items for really cheap. There's like a vending machine that turns on the room and you can basically work the room. And so, but this doesn't show you the minigame, it's just your character kind of standing around dancing. And then your character select, you can either have, at the very beginning you have access to Wade and Anna. I like Anna personally because she has an extra heart and she comes with a key, while Wade has a grenade. Or he starts with a grenade, but he comes with one less heart. And the thing about that is health. Getting new health containers is kind of, I think it's actually kind of difficult. So I'd rather actually, right now, at least start with the extra heart or the extra health and work at it like that. Besides the grenade, you know, what is really the worth of a grenade in this game? It could be worth a cup, like literally 1 or 2 cents, or nothing, because chests can also open up and have nothing in them. So your other characters are unlocks throughout the game, excuse me, that you can get through the upgrade tree at the bar. Next, you have a seed input. You can, if you have a seed, you can input it and you can run seeds. You cannot get unlocks or faith gems, which are the gems you use to do unlocks. And the Athena statue, I have not repaired, so there's that. And of course, the pit, where you go in, jump down, and start your runs. And that is honestly the gist of Neon Abyss. Very simple, very easy in the scope of understanding how the mechanics work. Like mechanically, it's very, 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 very simple. Very fun, pretty satisfying in general. It can, and it's not an easy game. When I say simple, I don't misunderstand me when I say simple. What I mean by simple is it's simple to understand, not necessarily easy to master. So, and that, effectively, my friends, is how Neon Abyss works. This has been the basics. I'm Chris, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!